Hello everyone, my name is Rishab Naresh. I'm a fourth year electrical and electronics engineering student from Delhi Technological University. Today I'm here to share my interview experience with all of you. Firstly, I would like to thank Placement Board for giving me this opportunity to share my interview experience. I hope a lot of you will benefit from the same. Okay, so firstly I'll give you a brief about the company I'm placed in. ZS Associate is a world leader in marketing and sales consulting firm. It has been in the business for about 30 years now. The tagline mostly associated with ZS is make an impact. So therefore, as you can assess, it wants individuals with leadership qualities who by themselves can make an impact. ZS offers three profiles when it comes to campuses for placement: Business Operations Associate, Business Analytics Associate, and Business Technology Associate. I have been placed as a Business Operations Associate. It has two offices in India, one in New Delhi, Gurgaon, and another in Pune. Okay, so starting with the interview procedure. Okay, what happens is in ZS, firstly there is a written round which consists of basic aptitude questions varying from logical reasoning, quantitative aptitude to verbal reasoning. It basically checks your aptitude to be in the analytics domain or not. The test was held on AMCAT platform. It was a 45 minutes test comprising of roughly 60 questions. What is important is that it was a computer adaptive test, so you cannot move on unless you answer the questions. So it is a test of your ability as well as your speed at the same time. Since the company was open for all branches, almost everyone appeared for the test who had a cutoff of greater than 60%. And finally, 2 days later, the results came and 75 people were shortlisted from our campus. Okay, so the very next day after the results came, we had to report at the Gurgaon office for the rest of the procedure. The company sent cabs at the college campus for picking us up. When we reached the first round was the group discussion, which started at roughly 10 a.m. All the 75 people were divided into groups of 8 to 9 and were sent at various panels for their group discussions. My topic for the group discussion was whether the e-commerce bubble is going to burst soon or not. It is a topic relevant to today, and participation was good from all the members, and it wasn't a fish market. After the GD, roughly half of the 75 people were selected and the rest were sent back home. Okay, after the shortlisting from the GD was done, people were segregated based on their profiles, like the operations, analytics and technology profiles were all segregated. All the operations people had a combined case study where it was a 7-page report about the sales of a pharma company, how it wants to increase its market share and what are the steps that it can take. We had to answer 5 questions in about 30 minutes. 1 or 2 questions were directly based on the data, but other questions required a lot of application and thinking on your feet. So 30 minutes interview around it was, followed by a case interview based on the same case study. Following the case study was a case interview based on the answers you had given of the case study. Okay, what here is that you do not have to be too rigid about your answers. If you think you have made a mistake and you can change on the spot, so it is not an issue. What you really have to do is basically defend your answers, give logic for choosing the answer you had chosen during the test, and maintain your calm and composure. The panel was really chilled out and not drilling at all, so it was a breeze if you were confident enough. Okay, so following the previous 2 rounds of the case study, all those who had cleared these rounds had to have an interview with the manager of the company. Okay, this round was a mixture of guess estimates, technical questions and a lot of other type of questions. Guess estimates were like the 2 guess estimates asked to me. Firstly was how many auto rickshaws ply in Delhi, and second was what is the number of Gillette razors used in India over a year. Look, the approach of these questions is very simple. You have to basically start from the scratch and go towards the answer. Like say, suppose the question of number of auto rickshaws in Delhi. What you can do is you can have a rough estimate of the population of Delhi. Say 25 million is the population of Delhi. Now you can have an idea that roughly there would be 3 to 4 members in a family, so you can divide into number of families. Finally, since you know how many families live in a community, so you can divide it number of communities. You know that there are like 4 to 5 roads per community. So based on that, you can keep going from one level to another and finally come to a rough figure of auto rickshaws. Look, it's not the final answer which matters, it is your approach which matters. You have to be logical, think aloud, tell the interviewer what you are thinking and finally come to whatever answer you can. So this was basically assessed in the interview with the manager round, how well you think, how well you can adapt to changes in questions. Further, there were a few questions based on projects and technical questions. So even though it is a non-technical company, but you have to be thorough with your basics of whatever engineering background you are. Okay, so after clearing all these rounds, you had the final HR interview with the principal of the company. It was more of a formality, however, questions like why ZS, what other plans do you have, do you plan to do an MBA, and what other backup options do you have, what has been your most significant achievement, what positions of responsibility have you taken. These questions one needs to be prepared with. These will be asked in almost every interview, including ZS. The interview went on for around 15 to 20 minutes, and this was the last round of the interview, after which we were told to have dinner. I hope I was able to answer all of your questions. However, for any further queries, we at Placement Board are always there for you. So please do comment below with all your queries and subscribe to the channel of Placement Board.